Julio Cesar Chavez's dramatic 12th round KO of Meldrick Taylor behind on the scorecards. That was here as well. Round one begins. Emmanuel Stewart said that he expected Lewis to be tentative for the first few rounds of this fight. Amid all of his turbulent emotions the last time around, McCall effectively followed the fight plan put forth by Stewart. Does he have another plan tonight?
Until it creates itself from long reach.
Is it getting any better?
Well, he's got that reach, and when you have a reach like that and the power like that, you can do anything you want.
Trunks are a little high.
Round one, kind of a feeling out round.
McCall jumped on Lennox Lewis, which played right into Lewis's hand.
George Benton asking Oliver McCall for more aggression, saying Lewis can't fight if he's going backward. McCall was unable to make Lewis go backward in an effective way in the first round.
He's going to be a little reluctant because of the earlier fight in that right hand. Let this guy rush him. He's...
As McCall threw two wild overhand rights, you saw how wary of that punch Lewis is. Now there's a good stiff jab by McCall, and Lewis demonstrates exactly what Benton talked about. Doesn't throw punches when he backs up and opens himself up by dropping his hands.
He backs up and leaves himself open.
Hard right hand by Lewis, and he just misses an uppercut that might have done even more damage.
He threw the uppercut when McCall was charging him.
And McCall ducks his head and looks away. That's going to slow down McCall's charges.
But he's fighting a good fight, moving back.
Another uppercut lands in there for Lewis as round two comes to a close. A round largely dominated by Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis has virtually doubled Oliver McCall's punch output. McCall releasing 57 punches. Lewis throwing 111.
Lewis is doing some good boxing, although Oliver McCall is not putting his punches together. He's trying more to psych this man out rather than whip him.
Just land that big right again?
More than anything else, trying to wait around, and fights go quick, you know. You got to remember, Oliver McCall was a bit smaller the first time they fought, so that right hand was delivered a lot quicker.
Interesting to see what kind of stamina McCall has tonight if this goes into the later rounds. Remember, he was in rehab for one of his multiple substance abuse problems at the beginning of his training camp. Lewis now landing hard right hands from over the top behind the jab.
Now Lewis, if he wants, he can just do that all night. Why change anything? He has so much confidence in his stamina. He's been in with some of the good boxers before, and later on, they wear down.
Good combination by Lewis. Left hook and a right hand over the top. McCall dancing as if to say, you can't hurt me. But Lewis is piling up points easily against a too passive Oliver McCall.
That's what you want your fighter to do. Win every round. If a knockout comes, good.
That was almost a 2-point round. Lewis was so dominant. McCall is doing a very strange thing here, folks.
He's walking around.
He's wandering around the ring. He hasn't gone to his corner, and he's trying to figure out what's gone wrong, why he's not into this fight. The people in his corner are looking at him and wondering what's going on.
And you can see the disgust on George Benton's face.
I wonder if that's against the rules or not. Harold, you know anything about that?
You're supposed to stay in the corner, George, but I tell you the truth, he doesn't have to sit down. You don't sit down, for example. But you are supposed to stay in the corner. You can't wander out into the middle of the ring. The referee should have definitely got it back to a corner.
Oliver McCall threw a total of 15 punches, according to our punch stat numbers in round number 3. And here he takes a hard right hand to begin the 4th. So whether McCall is disgusted with himself, his corner, the referee, Lennox Lewis, the whole occupation of boxing, who knows? Lewis seems unsure what to do as McCall occasionally looks away from him and invites him to attack. This is a bizarre scene. Bizarre scene. What should Lewis do, George?
Well, you got to stay within the rules. Don't break any rules by hitting your guy behind the back or something like that. Then you can get yourself in trouble.
It looks like he's quitting, and I'm surprised that Mills Lane, in his 19th heavyweight championship fight, hasn't gone over and said something to him about, you got to fight, Oliver, you got to fight. That's what Mills should be saying to him, because he's not doing anything. This is one of the strangest things I've ever seen in a championship fight.
Well, on Tuesday of this week,
he's shaking his head at George as if to say, there's something wrong, I got nothing here. Unless he's playing the greatest game of possum I ever saw.
Right hand by Lewis. McCall able to take it, even though he had his hands down. It's got to be a difficult thing for Lewis. He's aiming punches at a sitting duck here.
I don't know if the referee should let a fight like this go on. I mean, this is not what audiences...
Yeah, now Mills Lane is going to call time and have a conversation with McCall. McCall has thrown one punch in the round. This is a bizarre display. I personally have never seen anything like it. He's not even looking at Lewis as he walks away.
As far as you know.
All right, let's go to Larry Merchant, who's with George Benton in McCall's corner. Larry?
This man's mind is gone.
George, you're saying that you think he snapped in there?
Well, you're watching it. You ever seen anything like this in your life?
Never. Did you see any sign of anything wrong with him during training?
No, never.
Did you see any sign of anything in the dressing room before the fight?
Nothing.
Do you think the referee should stop this fight because he's not fighting back?
I'm in this man's corner. I won't voice no opinion on that. But you see this man, he's still there. All he's got to do is fight.
Thank you, George.
Well, Oliver McCall's been talking religion this week, saying that he has found God in his life. That's his new mechanism for attempting to deal with all the problems that have haunted him in the past. Tuesday, he told a group of boxing writers, I'm going to retire after this fight. It's not godly to train for a long period of time to go out and try to hurt another man. Then Wednesday, at a pre-fight news conference, he said, no, I'm not going to retire. I will keep fighting after I win the championship. But something interferes with Oliver McCall's motivation as round 4 closes here.
Jim, I think this fight should be stopped right now.
Yeah, the fight shouldn't go on. I wouldn't want to see.
I mean, this is a farce. What is the old saying? The first time is tragedy. The second time is farce. There's something wrong with Oliver McCall. He's near tears now. He doesn't really want to fight. He's crying in his corner. I've never seen anything like this. He's overwhelmed with some sort of emotion.
Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself, man. Come on, take some water. Come here.
He doesn't want to fight.
Come on, sit down, man. Sit down.
Oliver, sit down. Now, you want to fight? What's wrong? Huh? You don't want to fight?
Yeah, you want to fight. Come on.
Seconds out. Come on.
You can win this fight.
Take his boy out here. Come on. Hey, man. Go on and fight this fucker. This is for your daughter, man. Take this guy out here.
You heard Mills Lane say, do you want to fight? Reluctantly, it seems, he said yes, but it doesn't show on his face. This is a disgrace. It's almost like you're watching a man come apart at the seams.
Well,
right
in a life filled with crises, Oliver McCall is having one right now before the eyes of the world, and it's placed Lennox Lewis in an awfully difficult and awkward position. Lewis doing what he has to do.
This isn't right.
You wonder how much longer Mills Lane will allow this to go on, and that's going to be it.
Well, I've seen some strange things in boxing. That is surely one of the strangest.